So foremost, you want to get your roast ready. For me, I like to tenderize my roast because I like to make it soft. First thing I do is I grab it, put it in this middle pan. This way I can seal it. Season it. So right now, as far as the tenderizing goes, which I'm going to have for 5 minutes while I get everything else ready, is basically some salt. It'll help it get moisturized. And once I start seeing some fluid, we know we're ready. And then we can start seasoning it with black pepper and our other seasonings. So that's step one. Alright guys, so the next thing we're going to do is make our beef stock. Now, because of how this recipe is calling, I'm going to have 2 cups because we have 2 pounds of meat here. So what we're going to do now is get my beef bouillon, which will make an easy beef stock. That's all you're going to really need. Alright, and we're just going to mix it around. Alright, it should come out a light brownish color. And here's the thing. When you got like a bouillon like this, you would want to take it to the microwave. When you got a beef bouillon like this, guys, which is a high quality bouillon, you want to make sure that it gets in there. So the thing is, it's fairly solid. It's like a paste, really. So what you want to do is put it in the microwave and just let it heat so it can melt down. We're going to have this for about, let's see. Ooh, what the fuck? Anyway, we're going to have about maybe 2 minutes of this. Should be enough to get that bouillon going. Next thing, we want to make sure we add in our tablespoons of, that should be at least 2 tablespoons worth. More, actually. What you want to do that with your avocado oil. If you're not using avocado oil, I recommend olive. If not, at the healthiest vegetable oil. Alright guys, so the next thing we're going to do is get our vegetables ready. So first and foremost, you want to cut the ends of any of the dirty parts just to clean your vegetables. On top of that, guys, don't forget to wash. I've already rinsed this, and I've rinsed my onion here. The reason why I'm doing celery, though, for those of you guys who are wondering, is just to give a little bit more flavor, you know. They say the holy trinity in cooking is celery, onions, and carrots. And those of you who are thinking, what about potatoes? Potatoes is good, but they're not a trinity. So what I would do is I would make like 1-inch cuts. Well, something small, maybe ½ inch. My favorite cut is julienne, but that's just because I like things fine. So I can just like eat it like a, what you call, a noodle. So here's how I have my celery, guys. About that size. Sometimes I can do it like this or that. It helps. It helps for that size. Because then we're trying to get the flavor out of the celery mostly. And then on top of that, you get more fiber from it. So next, we got some onions here. I believe these are the onions my father chopped. So I'm going to clean this off. Get the skin off. Now, I would recommend a whole onion, but we got big ass yellow onions from Costco. You know how big those things are, right? Yeah. So first and foremost, we want to make a ½ inch cut there, and then another one, so it's gonna look something like this. Now, just letting you guys know, we're sautéing them and then removing them to bring back into the pot roast. So here's another one. It's a half onion right there. All right. Okay, cut that off. And for those of you who are wondering why I'm not crying when I'm cutting onion, quite honestly, I don't have any tears. So let me tell you this: your dog died. I'm not gonna cry if your dog died. Is it cold-hearted for me to say that? Maybe, but hey, that's how it is. All right, so same thing. Put a ½ inch cut around. And there you go. We got our onion. Alright. And last but not least. Yeah, if you're doing bell peppers, I would say like 1-inch squares of each side of your bell pepper if you're cutting bell pepper. For radishes, cut in half. You know, something like that. So now we're gonna get our garlic cloves. I have these already peeled garlic cloves, and quite honestly, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just chop them ourselves. I mean, what better way to do it? See, you guys see my setup right here. I got my onions and celery here. Basically, if you have a processed chopper, which what I was originally going to do, but I see that it's blocked off, so I can't even touch it. Alright, so I'm going to take like about that much cloves. I love my garlic, guys. Garlic is healthy for the heart. Alright, so next, what we're going to do is chop, 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 chop. Some of you guys are probably watching my hand and going like, oh fuck, watch your hand. I'm like, whatever, fuck. I cut my finger, I cut my finger. I've had worse experiences before. Alright. Alright. Cut. Alright, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know why I'm saying ooh yeah, right? One, I'm trying to get you guys to laugh, for one. Two, the smell of garlic is just awesome. It's just fucking awesome. Alright, so now you want to mince. I don't think it's finely minced, but you want to mince. I don't have a whole lot of room, so if it doesn't look like I have the skill, trust me, I do. See? As we go, we're cutting. Will this help against coronavirus, someone asked me? No. I do not know what helps around coronavirus other than opening your lungs and practicing your breathing exercises, because you have strong lungs. For one, there's no freaking way you should get any kind of pneumonia if you have strong ass lungs. Because see, what happens with lungs, guys, is that once they fill up with a lot of fluid and water, they shut down, and that's what causes pneumonia. And once the pneumonia, when they have already filled up all the way to the top, like they have with this coronavirus, your lung collapses. You know. Anyway, all right, that's our veg. We're ready to go. Let's take it to the next level. Right here with our Instapot. And what we're going to do now is we're going to saute our vegetables before we put the meat in. And our beef stock in. So, first and foremost, obviously, you're going to need your vegetables. Number two, you're going to need something to saute. I'm using this because, hey, easier to move around inside the Instapot. Alright, so first and foremost, we're going to put in the thing that is the heaviest. Or the thickest, which is the celery. In some of you guys' eyes will be probably the radish. In others, it's going to be that bell pepper. I mean, for crying out loud, bell pepper will take a while. You know? Alright, and then you just start doing this, basically. And I'm going to show you guys what it should look like when you're sauteing. For this recipe, after you're done sauteing your vegetables, you remove them. Then you put the roast in. But, you know what? I'm doing it my way, my style. Fuck it, right? Because I'm pretty much going off what the recipe isn't doing. So, just letting you guys know. Meanwhile, if you hear that right now, hear that? Alright, let me show you guys. Alright. As you can see, that's the sound of sizzling. So your vegetables are starting to sizzle. So we're going to start with our celery here in this avocado oil. Also, guys, with vegetables, you can get a little sticky or a little messy with your hands. So you might want to keep your hands a little wet or just wash them in general. I recommend you wash your hands so you keep them clean, you know. Not because of like what I said about the virus. No. but just because of the fact that when you're doing cooking, you want to be sanitary. Like when I go and finish seasoning up my roast here, we're going to wash our hands. All right, that sounds like enough time for that to go on its own. We're gonna throw in our onion. Just want to mix it around a little bit before we put the garlic in. Alright. Oh, yeah. These vegetables like it. It's raining outside. By the way, guys, you want to see? That's my backyard right now. That's tea leaf and some goldenrods there. Well, goldenrods are like they're the golden version of bird of paradise. Basically, they're bird of paradise, but they're orange color. We call them goldenrods. If you're a flower enthusiast, give me a hell yeah. I'm not a flower enthusiast, but you know, I know there's some people who love flowers. Alright. We want to make sure we hear the sizzle. Let's go. Okay. Smells good. Smells good. Now I'm going to add in the garlic. I know some people in my neighborhood like to put ginger in pot roast. Ginger is a good vegetable itself. It helps burn and helps your metabolism and all that, you know. All right. Smell that. All right. God, that smells great. Alright. Let me show you. This is our starting out. Recipe calls this to get caramelized. So what you want is a caramelization of your vegetables. I'll take a picture just in case if you guys didn't see it good. I mean, my equipment is not the best when it comes to our video camming, our recordings. I'm not the kind of person with a Nikon Pro. That's the fact. Cooking. I'll probably come back to it because I want it to sizzle. This level is our roast. As you guys can see, I've already salted. Look how moist has it become with the salt on it. So now what we're gonna do is gonna take some pepper. Oh yeah, sprinkle that shit, yeah. Basically sprinkle it on there. Yeah, you get that bell pepper. Nice. And then on top of that, I'll take my knife a little bit here, just a small butter knife. Why? I want to make a hole there, a hole there, and a hole there, and a hole there. Reason why we do that, folks. Reason why we put a little hole inside our roast is so that the roast can evenly cook better and faster while being in an Instapot or in a pressure cooker for that matter too. So while we were waiting for our vegetables to saute and brown, I have basically mixed our beef bouillon and water to make the stock. See how it looks? That's about right. Some stocks can become darker too. And here's our vegetables. Not too much caramelized, but you know, it's a slow cooker or a pressure cooker that's helpful. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our pot roast here and we're going to cook it in there for a little bit. I'm going to add in a little bit more oil. Why I'm going to add a little bit more oil is just because I feel as if I got lied to about how much tablespoons, I guess, of oil I must put in. But you know, can't help it. Sometimes people cook things that are great, and then they try to put it in the cookbook, right? But you forget how much you put in. So you come up with a random number. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our roast. I'm going to clean this pan after. And basically let it cook while we wait for it to sear a little bit. My cat's begging for the roast himself. He's like, Daddy, I want that roast. I want meat. I'm like, sorry boy, not until it's cooked. That's just the natural animal instinct, in my opinion, right there. When they see or seafood and they like want to eat food, they tell you. I'm making pot roast. Just laying. I don't know why this thing's taking a while to cook it. There you go. Oh, there we go. It's actually searing it. So, just to give you guys a heads up, we are browning. Browning the meat first, and then we're going to add in the vegetables, the stock, and some shoyu. Meanwhile, while this thing is searing a little bit, just letting you guys know, for my potato, so you can see I have a lot of eyes. If you are interested in growing potatoes, you would want to take the eyes off and plant them. These guys here. So, and let me tell you this, potatoes would be very viable, especially if something happens with our economy. Potatoes is gold. It's not because it's Idaho gold. It's because simply growing potatoes means you got food and substance. And potatoes is a great source of food. It actually got Ireland through the Great Plague. So that's why I say, if you want to grow potato, I mean, it's a smart move. It's gold. It's golden. And the thing is, no matter what, if you have potatoes in your house already, you already got the seeds because of the freaking eyes. So you use the eyes to grow the potato. Potatoes are root, folks. Root vegetable. And basically with the root vegetable, they're easy to grow. So think about that. Am I going to peel and cut those potatoes after? Of course, I plan to do so. Mainly because I want to put potatoes with our roast. Alright, let's see how the bottom's going. Alright, see how it's becoming more caramelized, guys? Ooh. Alright. Alright, so I had a little accident there. Get a little accident like that, it's okay. It happens. Sometimes the roast is 10 times stronger than what you call the pot, the tongs. Alright. We're almost, I think that should be good. You guys want to take a look? See? Nice and brown. The red's getting the blood out. And there you go. Alright, so now after doing this, you want to take your vegetables and add them in. Put them around the meat so that we can get all that nice flavor. And then for me, I like to put the carrots in now because they'll be soft when they come out. Soft might be mushy, but you know what? It'll be great to have. Plus, I say carrot and potato take the longest to do so. So what am I going to do while I'm pressure cooking this? Well, I'm probably going to pressure cook it for about, in our Instant Pot, we're going to probably pressure cook it for an hour, but then I'm going to put the slow cooker on after the hour is over and basically use my potatoes. Next thing, we're going to keep the carrots and potatoes. We're going to pressure cook this 1 hour, and then we're going to let the steam out. We're going to put these guys in, and the potatoes in after. So and leave it sit for 2 hours in a slow cooking process. It should be soft by then. Or we're going to do it like another pressure cooker about 15 minutes. So I'm going to pour in the beef stock next. Alright, let's get all that beef stock in. There we go. That's all we need to really pressure cook this thing. And then we're going to put in a little bit of shoyu, some kikkoman. Yeah, I like to put a little bit more in there. Yeah. This one here is low sodium, so don't worry. It's not going to be that bad. Alright. And then from there, lock it in